All rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Public comment. Do we have somebody just here for public comment? They're on the agenda for
something else. So this is me. Okay, I'm the only person. Hi, everyone. I'm here to deliver some more petitions regarding the senior village situation. This would bring the number to 956. I'm Herb Waltney, Atchison City. So ask for your consideration. Also, there was an article this morning in the Kansas City paper regarding some of the issues about nursing homes in Kansas. I thought maybe you all might be interested in reading that. So,
if was that today's article that was sent to me? That was forwarded to me. I've already read that.
Okay.
Thank you. But I will put it with the folder.
Okay. All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other comment? Okay. Yes. Go next. Did both of you gentlemen have a chance to read the minutes from last week?
I did. Yes.
Any additions or corrections?
I saw none. I saw none.
Do I hear
with that, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the minutes. I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed 3-0. Commissioner comments and committee reports. Jack, did you have anything?
No, the only thing is I know that somebody's brought a petition up, and I know that I keep hearing people asking this question: why we haven't verbalized why we want to sell Atchison Senior Village. I guess people don't really understand the reason we thought about selling it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way we could verbalize that to the community?
Well, for one thing, I found a little bit curious is on my own experience with this is I see people sign a petition, but nobody has come really and discussed it with us. I mean, I think it kind of runs two ways. I mean, I haven't had questions really posed by the public to me, only very few. To sign a paper is one thing, but even the gentleman that drops it off just says, here's signatures, and if there are specific issues that they have, I guess I would like to see them.
I guess the question is, my question is can we verbalize why we want to sell it?
I guess we could have a statement. Would that be a correct way, Pat, to make like a...
You could.
Or... of some type that would have to be developed, I guess, over a little time.
I just want to be just clear that I'm 100% against selling it.
Mm-hmm.
So you two could verbalize why you want to sell it.
Okay, well, we could work on that next week.
Well, when we make that statement, I would also like to have a statement from you. I recall the vote being 3-0 to sell it roughly 16, 18 months ago. And why have you changed your mind?
Well, because Bill, I listened. I listened to citizens. I listened to people in the community.
That were,
and then I dug
that were given wrong information.
Then I dug into the facts. No. I reviewed them, and then I formed my own opinion.
Fair enough.
Well, I'll just let that alone.
So we can't verbalize it. We're going to go to public relations firm to verbalize it, or did you guys verbalize it to everybody, or?
Well, actually, I've had extremely little interest in this subject. People aren't to me, it hasn't really been, except for the signatures on here. I've had probably
969 signatures.
I've had the signatures, but I'm saying that when people have had the opportunity to address it one-on-one with me, within a day of signing that, they haven't bothered to mention what their concerns are. So that's where I'm saying it runs both ways. To me, if it was such a need or burning issue, I would have thought I would have had much more public feedback than someone's signature and address on a blank sheet of paper. I mean, that's not telling me what they're just again it, but why? So I'm not. It hasn't been verbalized really to me either. I mean, it's.
I see a lack of communication to the community of why we want to sell it, and I have not seen an organization or a group come out and support the sell either. I've heard lots of people, 969 of them, who have put out a petition, well spelled out what it's about, that have signed this signature. I don't want to discount those signatures.
I'm not saying that they're not against it. I am saying that they're not verbalizing beyond a signature. Has any of them been here to discuss it with us? No.
So
there's been.
You're basing your opinion on someone hasn't talked to you personally?
I've had people that have not signed the petition that talked with me, and were against it, and I know much more of what their thinking is than the people that's just signed a petition. And there's been probably non-communication. There's probably been, and I know there's been miscommunication because there's been facts that have come out in articles that was completely misleading and not factual. So, unless we want to get into a big public fight about it, I've chosen to just let people try to do some of the research on their own. So
I see. So we're going to verbalize why we want to sell it, what we want to use the funds for, why we think it's important not to have it. I think there's been a lack of that verbalization.
Okay, duly noted.
That's all I have.
Okay. Do you have anything?
Just the fact I don't know what information the petition signers have been given. Some of the statements that was in the paper, you've heard the phrase out in left field. This person wasn't even in the ballpark. He wasn't even in the parking lot. Misinformed the people. So I don't know what information they told.
Can you be more specific?
About someone's opinion what the new people would possibly do, which they've never stated. Now they may do some of the changes.
So what was that opinion and who was it?
It was Mr. Mangiamelli about we're the only nursing facility that buys products locally. What's that tell you? Why don't the local companies that's worried about their business go approach the other facilities? I was told that they would buy as much as Atchison could provide at a competitive rate. That come out of the potential buyers. There was never a statement that says that they're not going to buy locally, and that statement has been quoted.
Okay. I don't have anything to add. Okay. New business for the board. Okay, we have a request for Family and Community Education FCE Week Proclamation. Do we have that?
I do, Maria.
Okay. First of all of you are involved, please state your name and how you're involved with this.
Evelyn Lorenz. I'm a member of Farmer at FCE. I've been for almost 20 years.
Okay.
I'm Diane Nielsen, the Atchison County Extension Agent, and in my role I serve as advisor to the group, and then because I believe in the cause, I'm also an individual member that I would be here today advisory.
Okay.
I'm Barbara Higgins, and I'm an FCE member, have been for 2 years now. And we enjoy reaching out to the public and working with different groups as well as children.
Okay.
I'm Carol Littner. I'm the president of the Atchison County Council of SCE, and we have only 2 units left in Atchison County. There used to be 37.
Wow.
And statewide, we have 985 members in the state. And we have 43 members total here in Atchison County. We're part of the northeast area of Kansas. FCE divides the state into 5 areas, so we're part of the northeast area, and there are 43 counties in Kansas that have FCE units within their counties. And our main goal is to educate our community with lessons that we learn via K.S.A or writers of educational programs within Kansas FCE. We are also under the umbrella of National Family and Community Education. And we have won awards in our county for reports that we submit of projects that we do within the county. This was our 4th summer to have a booth at the Atchison County Fair in Effingham, and we chose Alzheimer's updates, kids in the kitchen, and smoothies was 3 lessons that we gave at the fair this year. We're getting more and more public attending those, and our goal is that they will then educate their friends and neighbors on updates of different health issues. And then our most current project that we're doing tomorrow night, and I hope you all received your invitation to attend, at Benedictine, the human trafficking project for Kansas. And we're having Reverend Barry Feeker from Topeka Rescue Mission. He's been the director of that for 35 years. And he is seeing where homelessness is evolving to human trafficking. And we as FCE's members are not saying that we have human trafficking in Atchison or Atchison County that we're aware of. So we're hoping members of the community will come tomorrow night to just learn things to look for. That we could have it here, but we don't know what signs to look for. And then we have Jennifer Montgomery from the Attorney General's office coming to update us on Kansas laws and what Kansas is doing to eradicate human trafficking from Kansas. And Reverend Feeker has organized a new dimension with the Topeka Rescue Mission. It's called Freedom Now USA, and he has goals and guidelines of, he's going to explain that, of how he sees we can eradicate it, not only in Kansas, but nationwide. And it starts with teenagers as the most susceptible to being lured into human trafficking. So I'd encourage all of you in the community to come tomorrow evening at 7 to 8:30, Benedictine campus in the O'Malley McAllister Auditorium, which is part of John Paul II Student Center.
Okay. Carol, thanks a lot for the invitation.
Thank you.
Got it on my calendar.
Great, thank you.
Okay,
Yeah,
anything
and as an advisor, just real quick, one of my observations as an extension agent is sometimes we can take some social issues and, human trafficking, mental health is probably another issue. We've had some suicides in the community. This summer at Fair, we did some workshops there, but FC has always played a role in my career as I look back at taking some of those social issues that sometimes we're not quite comfortable talking about and making awareness and facts in community. So I can look back as a beginning agent, and AIDS was really a topic that we as a society weren't comfortable with. And I remember the local doctor at that point in time said, Diane, you need to do programming to create awareness. And so often I will see FC members doing an issue, and then general public, probably about 18 months later, you will begin to see some of that awareness that's happening in the community, and they'll begin to ask questions, so they play an important role in your quality of life of community.
And Jennifer Montgomery, if I might intercede with the Attorney General, she is the Director of Educating Communities. So we've also extended invitations to our county sheriff's department, Chief Wilson in the police department, Highland Community College, Benedictine College, the Board of Education, 409 and 377, just to have them be updated on human trafficking and just to have alertness to watch, signs to watch for among your students. But the Attorney General's office offers education to local police and sheriff's departments. And it would be at their invitation if they wanted her to come and educate.
Very good. Kind of an awareness to be to all the first signs to look for. Okay, so nothing further. It'd be my pleasure to read the proclamation. Whereas Kansas Association for Family and Community Education is an independent, nonprofit organization instituted for the purpose of enriching Kansas families, and whereas the mission of Families and Community Education is strengthening individuals, families, and communities through continuing education, developing leadership, and community action. Whereas in Kansas, during the past year, 48 councils with 105 FCE units and approximately 985 members received continuing education through family and community education. Now, therefore, the week of October 14th through the 20th, 2018, is hereby proclaimed as Kansas Family and Community Education Week. In recognition and appreciation of Kansas Association for Families and Community Education members' contributions to the state of Kansas, all residents are urged to take proper cognizance thereof. Witness this 9th day of October in the year 2018. Board of County Commissioners, Atchison County, Kansas.
I'd say you want to give them a picture handing it to them. Is that one?
Yeah. Do you have?
I have my phone to take pictures as well.
Okay. How would you, all commissioners, just me or what? We'd like to have a picture of me presenting the proclamation.
Scoot this way, Eric. Scoot this way a little bit. There you go.
Scoot on in. It's all in here.
I'm missing Miss Evelyn. I'm missing Evelyn in here.
Okay. Well, we better squeeze in because
I'll get
if we can adjust the lambs a little bit.
Right here.
Yes.
I'm not used to your camera. There we go.
I didn't see
Thank
no
you, Donna.
flashes.
Thank you
Is
so
that-
much. Thank you.
It's okay.
Oh, okay.
I'll have her look at it to verify that it's good.
Looks good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
all.
ladies. We appreciate it. Everything you do.
Thank you.
That's the other. Oh, I think I gave you both copies. I think I was
One
supposed
for you.
I'll say we keep one.
to add them together.
Thank you.
Should we post that somewhere, Eric?
You posted
We
it.
can put that on probably on the.
Well, it's on her camera, so if Miss
I'm
Barbara.
talking about the proclamation.
Oh, we can post it on our
on the
whiteboard.
website.
And we can probably scan it in and post it on the website. If you could email that picture to us, that would be great.
Okay.
Michelle.
Michelle.
Yeah. so-
That'd be good.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Okay, we also have another proclamation.
The fact sheet isn't on top.
Okay. You're way in the back. Why don't you come up the front row so we can have a little discussion? All right? Yeah, please. We don't bite. Hard.
You get these chairs up here, you'll be on the camera. Don't want to be on the camera.
Okay, this is a proclamation for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Would you like to share anything with us first, or do you want me to just read the proclamation, or how would you?
Sure. This is a proclamation for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which is nationally recognized in the month of October. This proclamation is about raising awareness for early detection and preventing breast cancer deaths among women. It's a disease that also affects men, but women, it's most prevalent. It's actually the most common form of cancer diagnosed in women. I myself am a survivor, and so as a longtime Atchison County resident, I'm very passionate about raising awareness for other women in Atchison County so that they can also have a very positive outcome and have the best chance of survival.
Okay, I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but you explained it so well this morning when I met you in the hall that, and I thought you were the best advocate to put that forward.
Sure, thank you.
Is there anything, questions or anything that, or observations?
The only thing that I might add to that is that in Kansas this year, 2018, there's approximately, they estimate approximately 2,300 cases of breast cancer. And they're estimating approximately 350 of those will pass away due to breast cancer. And it's not just, it's worldwide. She brought up about it being the largest or the most common breast cancer. It's not just in the United States, it's throughout the world. So, and I think since we've dealt with it personally, family-wise, and I know some of you commissioners, have been involved. I know Bill for sure. I think Jax has too, that it strikes home pretty hard. And I think it's something that really, really needs to be addressed, and the awareness needs to be brought to the public and tell them, they have insurance. That's like so much of it, like the mammograms, they've got it at the age of 40. Abby got it at 33. And so, you just can't be for sure on it. So that's the reason that we're bringing it before.
There are no hard and fast rules on that. I mean, that is a statistical analysis, and that's where they start, but there are so many other factors that people need to be aware of and have themselves checked and everything. Just don't rely on statistics, because they will make a fool out of you.
Just don't take anything for granted. Just everything's serious when it comes to it.
I will tell you that my daughter is 5 years breast cancer free. She was diagnosed at 31. She did it because she did a self-exam. She realized something was wrong. And the thing is, sometimes I think that people think it's for older women. The self-exam is so important, and doing something about it once you get it. So you guys are singing to the choir here, but I think the awareness is real important.
I believe that the number is roughly 62 women in Atchison County were diagnosed between 2011 and 2015, roughly from statistics from the American Cancer Society. So
You
in
also
a small
supply,
community, it's significant as well.
you supplied a very factual or a fact sheet here on breast cancer. It's very interesting. I would like to maybe have that posted on the website too, and maybe we could also send that to the community health clinics.
Sure.
So that's just something for them to. You never know what one posting or something who it will reach.
Exactly. That's what
I
it's
think
all about.
one thing, most people think it's the older ladies, and like yourself, my sister was 39 when she was diagnosed. So there's no age.
Right.
It could hit at any time.
Right. And it's so important that women do take that into account and not, just assume under 40 you're not at risk.
Yep.
Thanks, Charlie and Abby, for your leadership.
Yeah, thank you. And it affects the whole family. I mean, it's not just one. It's everybody. So, and the community. So, with that, I would like to be my honor to read the proclamation. Whereas breast cancer is the most common cancer among women in the United States and around the world, and whereas in 2018 alone, approximately 2,290 Kansas women will be diagnosed with breast cancer, and an estimated 350 will die of the disease, making breast cancer the most frequently diagnosed cancer in women, and whereas every woman is at risk for breast cancer, regardless of age, race, and socioeconomic status. And whereas the screening and early detection of breast cancer are vital to the health and well-being of Atchison County women. And whereas October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, an annual campaign to increase awareness about the disease. And whereas during this month, we reaffirm our commitment to support breast cancer research and educate all systems about the risk factors, detection, and treatment. And whereas this October we support the fighters, admire the survivors, and remember the taken. And whereas Breast Cancer Awareness Month is an opportunity to unite all citizens of Atchison County to prevent breast cancer deaths through increased education and regular screening. Now, therefore, the Atchison County Commissioners, Atchison, Kansas, do hereby proclaim October 2018 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month, adopted and approved by the Board of Commissioners of Atchison County, Kansas, this 9th day of October 2018.
Michelle just come in and informed me we're going to have the clock tower. The closest thing that we can get to pink is a light red. So
Wonderful.
We're going to have it
we're going to have that.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Maybe picture. Family with you?
It doesn't matter. You guys want to join in? Want to join?
Just I can take on the frequency.
Squeeze in.
I'll say you guys love her. Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much.
For sharing with us.
Oh, thank you all very
Thank you
much.
very much.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you.
Can't reach the.
Oh, here we go, there, Charlie. Hey, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Looks like actually kind of needs to invest in the camera.
I think we had one at one time. I don't know what happened. Did Pauline used to have one?
Maybe it's her personal camera. I don't know.
Maybe that's what it was.
I'm not sure where it might be if there was still one in there. So
Oh.
we're just using that.
Okay. Yeah. Are you just here for coverage, or did you hear?
Well, are you guys doing anything about Tea and Village today?
That's. I guess we will. That was next on the agenda, or
Yeah,
it wasn't on the posted on the agenda, but it just came through. So.
Yeah. That's the main reason I was here, but yeah, it's good for
Okay. Is there 3 copies here, or just one?
Right, there are 3. So put the paper clip around the middle one. I already have a copy.
Okay. Did you want, or you want one for?
Well, I thought we need to get, if you're going to approve it, we need 2 originals to send to them.
Okay.
So that they can send one of them back. So we'd each have it fully executed.
No, I have looked over this in some detail. We did make a couple of modifications. I sent an email yesterday to Zish Margulis and Nathan Freund with, I guess, a last-minute change, and that is that the previous draft did not have a period of time limitation on the exclusivity paragraph that is there. And that's something that I spoke with Tom Rozak, and it's something he pointed out. Now, there is a 45-day time limit that is imposed in the due diligence period paragraph, but rather than it's just clearer to have it in there twice, I guess. So I sent an email asking about if that was agreeable with them. I didn't receive a response, and then I sent another email this morning asking if they had had a chance to look at it, and I did get a response to that from Zish saying that he hadn't seen my earlier email. So I checked to make sure that it was sent, and I think Eric received a copy of that email because he was CC'd on the email.
Yeah, I looked this morning and I had been, so I don't know why he wouldn't have received it, but I have not been in communication myself with either of them. I have you, but not with either of them.
Yeah, no, and candidly, nor have I, other than the email in the last couple had not, there hadn't been a response to them. But this is an agreement to negotiate. It doesn't bind the county. That said, I generally shouldn't enter into it unless you have a good faith
expectation.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Of completing negotiations for.
Can I make a point of order? How can we have something this important and not have it on the agenda?
It just came through.
I had a copy of this yesterday. Agenda didn't come out till last night.
I don't know.
I mean, this is like a surprise. We're going to discuss this today.
Well, if you choose not to, we can, I guess, put it off. I mean, I did not know if this, because all I knew was that there was some things being changed, and I wasn't going to put it on the agenda until I had seen a final copy, and this is my first time that I've seen a final copy.
So let me ask you a question. Do we know anything about these people?
I would say some, and I think that was very interesting that I had been sent the Kansas City Star paper this morning, and and through an email, and I think it was Dr. Epley that had sent it to me. And in that article about the nursing homes, it does quote, I believe her name is Miss Cindy Luxon, who I have been in contact with. And
she's an agent that sells nursing homes.
She works for the Kansas Nursing Home Association. And I was in my personal investigation of the nursing homes, selling the nursing home and everything. I had reached out to her, and she's given them a quite glowing recommendation. I have not had anything returned to me that was, what would you say, negative towards Recover Care.
Can I bring up the most obvious question? What is their financial capability? We've asked for financial statements. They have not provided them. Secondly, do you know that they're in an office, it's a room above a yoga studio in Brooklyn, New York? And do you know there's a parent company? And do you know that they're a foreign LLC, registered in Kansas? Do you know those things? I would like to know a lot more about this company before I want to enter into any agreement.
Or without knowing anything further, I mean, are you saying because something is foreign, there shouldn't be any investing in?
I'd like to know if they have the
Atchison County?
financial wherewithal to operate this nursing home in our community. Or are they going to fail? They've been operating for 2 years in Kansas. They have not provided us any personal or financial information on their company. Plus, they've never mentioned that they have a parent company in Louisville.
The Miss Luxem, who had written back to me when I was asking for
Well,
information.
let's stay on the question. I want to talk about the financial wherewithal of this company.
You're talking.
I'm talking. Do we know anything about them? Have we seen a certified financial statement? Have we seen their parent company's financial statement? Have we seen the incorporation in Kansas and in the state of Delaware? Before I enter an agreement with somebody, I'd like to know who they are. But an office above a yoga store in Brooklyn isn't exactly, and I guess they're a small startup, they can start a lot of places. But
well, I guess some of that I would have to take with a grain of salt, because if the office above a yoga store is the same as the nursing home, senior village, not getting any money, any tax money, I mean, if that is the same type of statement, that is not factual. And it was
don't pull out apples and oranges. Let's talk about the
apples. Well, I mean, and both statements came from the same place, so I would have to question both.
What statements came from the same place?
Your statement that the nursing home did not take any tax money, that it was not being subsidized by taxpayers.
Oh, come on, Eric. I'm talking about the financial wherewithal of a company that you want to sell the nursing home to. Entering an agreement.
But you don't want to talk about the fact that was.
But you don't know anything about.
You didn't know anything about it if you thought that the county was not subsidizing the senior village.
I think I made my point. We do not have any information on the organization of this company, their financial capability, or anything about their parent company.
That is true, but if I recall right, they said they would provide all that to us.
Yeah, let's have them provide it so we can make a conscious decision.
Well, isn't that part of the agreement that is a discovery when we enter into the LOI? That is the.
It's not in that agreement. We're going to try to have a motion to sign this agreement today, right? I mean, you just placed it on the agenda, Eric. I don't know what you placed.
I did not put it on the agenda.
And why did we bring it up?
It came to us this morning, but it is not on the agenda.
So why are we discussing it?
Well, evidently somebody tipped off the press that they thought it was going to be on the agenda. Did you?
No. How would I know that? I get the agenda last night. It's not on there.
Well, you said you got the LOI last night. I hadn't received it.
I got it yesterday morning, the same one that you got. It was addressed to all of us.
But it was not a finished copy. I mean, what was going on, Okay.
So I move that we don't enter into this agreement until we have more information available to us.
Is that something that needs to be in there, of the discovery portion that needs to be in the LOI?
That comes after this, doesn't it?
You know, I think it could be however you decide that you want to proceed.
Point of order, there's a motion on the floor.
Died for lack of second.
So what we're saying is that we don't care what the financial capability is.
I'm saying that would be in discovery. This does not obligate us to a certain thing, only that we are talking with them officially about the sale, and it does not hold us to anything that until a final agreement would be made. It is just the process to get to all the facts that we want, and if that is part of what you would want to see, that could be part of that LOI.
You know something, maybe I'm saying I want to see it, but I would think all of us would want to see it.
Well, we've talked about it, and it was brought to us.
We had this conversation 2 months ago, and we said we wanted this information, yet it's not forthcoming.
Was that? I thought that at that time it wasn't a direct request, and I thought that that was something that was going to come out of this process.
That's the way I took it.
Was there a direct request from them for any of that information?
No, I don't recall there being a direct request that before we consider this agreement that we want to have certain documents. Now you could certainly make that request to them, and there wouldn't be anything wrong with handling it that way.
September 4th, during the workshop, we discussed this at length. And I brought up that I thought we should have the financial capability of this company. Everybody at that time agreed.
But
so that's it's September 4th. Now it's October 9th. They've had plenty of time to get that information. If we didn't ask for it in our communication, shame on us.
As I recall it, you brought it up, and I made a statement. Well, if they're writing us a check, you know, they got the money, but then you brought up, yeah, but do they have money to back it up? And I said, well, I can see where you're coming from.
Well, I want to make sure that
there was no direction. They said they could provide it, but they were never told to provide it,
okay.
As I recall.
Okay.
Now, if I recall it wrong, you tell me, or we can look over the minutes, but that's how I remember. I think that was in closed session. So
no, it was in the budget session we discussed this.
I would like to read the letter or email that I got from Ms. Luxon, who was quoted in the article Kansas City paper today, and it says, "Hello, Eric. I would be happy to visit with you or your board anytime about Recover Care. They have been excellent providers since joining the state. They are individuals who have been in long-term care for a while. One of the primaries is a nurse and the other nursing home administrator, so they know what they are doing. We have had some terrible experience with some of the individuals who have been more closely associated with real estate investment groups, thinking that they were going to make some quick money in the Midwest. But I review Recover Care as a company committed to the care of our Kansas elders, and until they show anything different, they have the total support of the Kansas Healthcare Association. I would suggest Googling any of the names of the folks involved and see what might come up. I really do not think there is any hidden agenda with this company." And Ms. Cindy Luxon, CEO and President.
They've been in business since 2016 in Kansas. If I subtract 2018, they've been working for 2 years. So we have 2 years experience. And it sounds like exemplary, according to Ms. Luxon, who also, isn't she an agent to sell nursing homes?
I don't believe that they're not, and they are they are representing nursing homes.
You said that Jay Armstrong brought to you that this woman could.
No, you're talking about a totally different person.
Because Jay's been very involved in that. I'd love to see Jay come here and talk about it.
Marge Cochran is the lady.
You've probably talked with him more about it than I have. I don't know. It's Marge Cochran is who you're talking about.
I'm mistaken.
This is someone.
This is the first I've heard of this lady's name.
It was in my individual research that I was doing online and came upon her and her qualifications. I thought that was.
Here's the information on their current companies. So you put that in the file so you know who that is.
I will.
Thank you. Louisville, Kentucky. They're operating out of a shopping mall.
Okay. Well, how do we proceed?
You're the chairman.
I am asking.
We don't know what your schedule is, Jack. Here lately, you've been missing more meetings than you've been attending. So, and we've been holding off on this stuff in all due respect. But there comes a certain time and point that we're going to have to proceed.
Yeah, Bill, you're right. I've missed 2 meetings in September.
In the last 2 months, you'll have missed 4. You missed 3 in a row. You're missing next week. That's 4 meetings missed in 2 months.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And you're also getting paid for these meetings. And the people in your area are not getting represented. And I hope this camera's working.
Well, thank you very much, Bill.
Do we want to schedule a certain time that we take this issue on? Do we want to add language to it and pass it? Would it take additional language to do the discovery? Would that need to be a specific language written into the LOI, or would that?
Yeah, that issue is not addressed in the agreement. I think if you want to talk more about the legal intricacies involved, I'd prefer to do that in an executive session, in an open session. But it would be more clear if the agreement were modified to include that.
Okay. Do we want to go into executive session now then?
What information is this privileged? Why can't it be in the sunshine?
Well, because I would be talking to my client about the specific terms of a legal agreement. And
so have we got the legal agreement worked up, Pat?
I'm sorry?
Have you got a legal agreement worked up that we're going to discuss?
Well, there's a draft of one here that's been presented. And
can I see it?
Yeah, it's the one that was emailed.
Well,
you said you had a copy.
That's public record.
Yeah, it is.
Public record, so why are we going to executive session?
It is.
I like the sunshine if we can.
Well, there are good reasons why the Kansas Open Meetings Act has exceptions, and one of those exceptions is to talk to your lawyer about the law and your legal position. And my advice would be that that discussion should take place in an executive session. That's up to the three of you, or a majority of.
In order for me to vote for it, I'd like to know the specific points that you're going to discuss with us.
Well, I think it would be to answer questions that you would have. So,
I've already asked all my questions. So.
Right. Then those will be the questions. Those will be the topics. It's really up to the board if you want to have that discussion in an executive session, or if you don't.
Well, we have legal counsel for advice, and he advises something. I'm going to go with the legal counsel's advice. So I would say executive session.
I'll agree with that. Is that a motion?
That is a motion, sir.
There's the form of that motion that needs to be followed.
Is it the attorney-client?
Yes.
And for how long? 15 minutes?
Whatever you think.
15 minutes.
It'll be just to the things that require the attorney's opinion. Nothing else.
As every executive session on an attorney-client privilege matter is, yes.
I just put like Poll, Commissioner Poll. Mm-hmm. Commissioner Poll move that the Board of County Commissioners meet recess into executive session at 1:50 p.m. for consultation. Let me get my glasses. with the attorney for the public body, which would be deemed privileged, in the attorney-client relationship as allowed by K.S.A. 75-4319B. Then they got number 2, and that the purpose of this closed session is to protect confidentiality of the discussion, and that the board come out of the executive session at, you say 15, 20 minutes? 2:10. That'd be 20 minutes. In the commission room, first floor courthouse. Those present will be 3 commissioners and county council. Pat Henderson.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Discussion? Discussion? I think we've done a lousy job of communicating why we want to sell this facility. I don't believe that this executive session is necessary for this discussion. I just want to go on the record of saying that.
With that discussion, is there any more?
I have none.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
2 to 1. Okay. Approve the initial purchase, and then we can. Are we back?
You're back on recording?
Okay. One more item we discussed this morning about the purchase of a new road grader. Seth was asking us about, his recommendation was the 12M3 CAT from Foley, and we got a, was it JCP? What's that purchasing? JNCP? The purchasing.
Oh, I don't remember the name
Like
of
a
the
state
company.
contract.
Yeah, it's that.
Similar to state contract.
Yeah, similar to state contract. Their bid at $290,000. He can't be here this afternoon. Do we want to act on that? Make a motion to accept that with financial details to be later, or
I think the key to this is the $164,000 trade-in going to be applied to this? I think that was your question, Commissioner Poole.
and I believe I agree with that. Is that your assessment?
I would make a motion to buy the grader from Foley for $290,000 based upon us getting the trade-in value of approximately $164,000.
Well, it's the repurchase from John Deere from the current.
I'm talking about applied to the purchase.
Yeah.
I personally feel that we should wait till we get, I'm sure we're going to be okay. We get a okay from the bank and we put it up for bid. And then
Well, we don't. Oh, you mean the financing up for bid?
as soon as we get the financing up for bid and we award it, then we tell Cat to go buy it.
You know, just we haven't got a motion here. It's just going to be a lease purchase.
I believe so. Well,
Okay.
I don't know if it's a
So-
165. If he's got the other.
Are we going to
125,000.
consider taking several pieces of equipment under one lease purchase agreement?
That was also something that was discussed.
That
I
was
think
brought up, and you suggested that we keep them separated,
Well,
or not?
I don't think there's a problem with doing it either way, whichever way you want to do it this point.
So we could approve this.
Or you could direct us to get the financing, and then you make a decision.
I just kind of reminding him that he said that he's going to lose this grader that we're trading in
yes,
on the 25th.
yes.
So it'll leave us a grader short, and these people can deliver this grader within a week. So we'd be short a grader, and that may be okay.
Well, yeah, we have.
We got to have a lot of things to grade right now.
Yeah,
With all this rain.
Cat in their disclosure there said that they could provide it 1 week after notification or actual purchase. So trying to it'd be easier if he was here, but
I think that's being a little presumptuous that the bank is going to okay it, and then we go ahead and buy it, and they deliver it.
could we just say that we are going to? This is the way we want to go. This is what our intention is, and for him to be able to act and get the financing and all of that in order for more timely. If he could get it all ready next week, we could approve it.
Yeah, but he's going to be gone next week. The K.S.A.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, you think we can get a hold of him, have him come back in a second?
I doubt it, because I think he's way out west on the roads. Trying to think of the best way of.
The financing of it is separate from SEF, right? Is that's a banking agreement. So I'd make a motion that we buy the Foley grader for $29,000 if we can get the proper financing in place.
That's good for us, but what's that going to tell Foley? I mean,
I guess they would.
I'll rescind my motion. I'd make a motion to buy the grader from Foley Equipment for $29,000. We're highly rated government, so getting financing is not an issue.
I'm not saying no yet. I'm thinking.
Chances are that's what's going to happen, but I still feel we're getting the cart before the horse. I don't think it'll take that long to get approved by a bank or get the bids in. But
so let's let this issue go to the 23rd.
Okay. I think all of our intentions are close. It's just to find that balance between what our intentions are to get it to come out.
In the meantime, we can find out about the financing.
Okay.
You're gonna.
So do you want me to go ahead and send out requests for proposals?
Well, we need to find out how his intention is. I'm not in favor of lease purchase the whole 290. I'm for putting the 164, 810 or whatever it was towards this, and then we're talking 130,000. That, right? Roughly.
Approximately. And I'm not sure 164 is correct. It's just close to that.
Yeah, that's what was wrote on that paper.
Okay, so we got it.
So it'd be approximately 126,000 to finance. Why don't we do that? Authorize that to be
financing for 7 years.
Yeah.
One other thing.
Did you say
7?
That's
Is
what
that
they suggested. Should we do a combo with the skid loader as well?
I don't think, and that would only help us. So that would maybe be on the financing to roll them into one payment.
Yes.
Because the
We're
purchase.
going to have so many lease purchase payments out there. If we could kind of consolidate that, it'd be easy to keep track of what we're committed to. I think we need to have another talk with Seth.
I do too. Let's put this all up to the 23rd. But I think financing could be.
And what amount should the request be?
Approximately 126,000. Because I think that's unanimous that we want the purchase price of.
Did he give the number or anything? The greater number or anything?
Yes, it's a 12 M3 cat. All-wheel drive.
Okay. Do you want proposals for next week, or do you want them for the 23rd?
23rd, because with both Seth and Jack gone, we can't act on it. I wouldn't be presumptuous to do that.
Okay.
If Seth was going to be here and I knew your intentions, I would honor them and take it forward. With that Seth here, I can't do that. Any old or unfinished business before the board? County Councilor update?
You had asked, we had a little discussion about the road weights. If you remember that on the what kind of restrictions we can put. we are on the same grant, the same rules as on the same rules on our roads apply as on the state highway system, and it's generally an 88,000 pound limit, 34,000 pounds per axle, and there's a formula in there. It depends on how long the vehicle is, or the trailer, and how many axles and how many wheels it has, etc. But the definition of highway under the state statute is broad enough to include all of our roads as well. There might be a different limit on the federal interstate highways, but none of those. That's not really our concern here. I don't know what your desire is. If you want to look into placing some limit on any specific road, or all of the roads, or paved roads, or gravel roads, or what you want to do.
You said there's a state statute for speed limits and limits on gravel roads.
There is that too. There's a weight limit, and it just generally applies on all roads in the state. And
what about speed limits? Is there something defined?
There is. Generally it's 55 miles per hour unless otherwise posted. There are lower speed limits for urban areas and within a city, and then unless posted. And we do have a series of resolutions that set speed limits. That was actually another thing that we talked about the McPherson Road. There's not a specific lower speed limit on there. There was some discussion about making it a 45 mile per hour speed limit, but that hasn't been there hasn't been a resolution adopted to do that. So
I guess it's for future reference, if we have, as trucks get bigger and bigger and more of them on some of these roads, if we have a future need, it's kind of nice to know what maybe our options and the laws are. Okay, any more on that?
Well, just some direction if you want. If you want someone to do it.
On this page? I did. Okay.
Do you want somebody to make a recommendation and to study it, or I guess, and what information do you want to make a decision?
Well, we discussed it some this morning in morning session there. At least at the time being, wasn't the consensus was, unless we really think that it's going to be enforced, that we probably wouldn't put a weight limit or a lower speed limit on, but we want to keep that, know where we're at in case it has to happen, that we might in the future consider it.
Quote me if I'm wrong, but I think Seth's opinion was if we put a weight limit, he wants to enforce it.
Yes.
Well, it sounds like we already have a weight limit.
Not really.
Well,
there's a state statute, in Trump County, and the only thing we would post is if a bridge or something required less weight.
Yes.
That wouldn't be on rural roads, that'd be on state highways.
Well, it's just on the definition of a highway under the statute is any road that's open to public travel. So it doesn't require that it be paved.
I would say that if there was even a single bridge on that stretch of road that was under that state guideline, I believe you said it was 180,000 to 188.
I think it's 80
or
80.
88. I'm sorry.
Be a big truck.
Yeah. I don't know where that came out.
I think we should post it if we'd have a law.
Yes.
But the state statute is applicable.
So there is a base right now of 88,000. But what I was saying is that if there would be a bridge or something under that, we need to post the whole road so they don't get halfway down the road and have to stop and turn around, which they wouldn't. They would cross the road, cross the bridge. So, I guess we'll talk with Seth some more about that and maybe give you some direction.
You may tell them that we're gonna get some information and this LOL with LOI October 30th.
Oh, okay. Yeah. During what can I say? Because it was
More information.
That you put it
requesting
on the
more.
agenda for the 20, was it the 23rd?
23rd.
Oh, I wrote down 30th.
That's what I
The 23rd was the day that I get back, so, or the meeting, I'm gonna be gone the week before, so, was it the 30th?
30th. So that will be when we take that senior village up again.
23rd.
Yeah.
30th.
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 30th. Okay.
I mean, if Mary's off today, so.
Yeah, like I say, I think that's the first time you set in for full commission.
So have you, it was brought up that I had warned the press we're going to talk about
Oh,
Cedar
no,
Village
I
Clerk.
learned of it. Nobody in this room told me about
Okay. It not that I've.
I mean, I certainly my right to inform the press.
Sure.
I couldn't inform the press if it wasn't on the agenda.
it. Yeah, I understand. Makes sense. I had something else if I did public forum or.
Yeah, we have another public comment here at the
I
end.
didn't want to break order or anything like that.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So should I be up there?
Sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure. You can.
Do I have to say my name on that or?
Can.
No,
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Marcus Clem. I live in Atchison. In relation to commissioners, in relation to your recent executive session, I just request an official statement defining the reasons why you chose to go into executive session beyond attorney-client privilege, just for the record.
Okay.
County counselor advised us that there's some details that shouldn't be public. Is that?
What are those details in pertaining to?
You know, you're asking us what details did you want kept out of the public?
Sure, yeah, just a general summary would be appropriate, I think.
Well, just negotiations and specifics of the contract.
With which party?
Recover Care.
Recover Care. And where are they based out of?
A letter of understanding.
Letter of understanding. Okay.
Or a letter of intent. Excuse me. Letter of
Okay. Okay. And the commission holds that if the details of these negotiations were made public, then that would possibly impugn attorney-client privilege. Is that the?
No, we were talking about modifications or potential modifications of a contract, of an agreement.
So, modifications of a contract. Okay. Yeah. That's all.
Terms of an agreement.
Okay. Yeah. I just didn't want to put like attorney-client privilege in the story and people go, well, what's that about? You know.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
You bet, Marcus. With that, is there any other business not stated? If not, do I hear a motion to adjourn at 2:30?
I so move, Mr. Chairman.
Second. It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We are adjourned.
I want to read this.
Okay, I've got a copy.
You got a copy?